everybody, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 33, Maintenance, baby. Exciting topic, and as you guys know, it's trucks do different things when the weather change up. And I got my man some people, you already know who this is, but to the ones that's watching this podcast and don't know who this beautiful face is, this is Mr. James Morris, and James is our Director of Maintenance.
Good morning.
So James is gonna give us a quick update on, because a lot of guys don't understand, when it's hot. You waking up in the morning, it's 80 plus degrees. It's a couple things you probably don't have to warm that truck up. But now that it's cold, you're waking up. I think yesterday it was 24 degrees. Trucks do different things. And I'm not the guy to talk about that. We wanted to get somebody that's skillful skillful on maintenance to talk about what guys should be doing now that we got a little cooler weather coming in. And then some of you guys may be going up north to where it's snowing. Some guys going out west. There's a lot of ice. James, talk to us about maintenance and what guys need to know going into these winter months.
Well, one thing to need to know about a diesel engine is it doesn't have a spark plug, and it relies strictly on heat and compression to fire the motor and make it work, right? Mm-hmm. So when it's cold, it may sound like it's running on 3 cylinders because it probably is. So give it a second. Don't give it any gas. Let it idle. Let it get warmed up. Let it move on its own, and everything will work out better. So one of the things I like to tell guys, too, is this time of year, condensation is something you really need to think about. It's hot, it's cold, it's warm down here, it's cold over there, and you're going around the country, and you're experiencing all these different temperatures. Remember, drain your air tanks every day, get the water out of the tanks, truck and trailer, and also fuel. When you're leaving Birmingham and it's 80 degrees down here on Christmas morning, and you drive 10 miles north and it's 50 degrees, and you drive another couple hundred miles and now it's 30 degrees, and you drive even further, now it's 0 degrees and all that. As you burn the fuel out of your tank, it leaves a place for water to condensate in that tank, and that puts water in the fuel. So keep your tanks full when it's cold, and especially if you're leaving warm to a cold environment, make sure half a tank, fill it back up. Also, what that'll do for you is it gets you winter blended fuels in those areas where it is cold, and you won't have as much of a gelling problem as you could possibly have just by running warm fuel in the south.
Awesome. All right, guys, that's good tips from James, and just a couple more tips. I try to remind guys when I was a fleet manager, you're gonna get into some harbor areas. It's now when you're down south, we don't really invest in a lot of snow trucks. We don't really invest in sand. We don't really invest in anything. The salt on the roads. It's a lot more dangerous when you're south of 40. But when you get north of 40, they invest in that stuff, and because it's a lot worse conditions up there than it usually get down south. So just one thing I just want guys to pay attention to, guys, that black ice. At nighttime it's really hard to see. But if you're looking in your rearview mirrors and you don't see water coming off the back of your tires, you're probably in a bad area. You probably need to pull over.
That means the moisture is frozen on the ground and it's not being kicked up by the tires. So
there you go. That's one thing guys can pay attention to when you're rolling out there, because like I said, that's where we make most of our money, taking load from the south going north. And I know guys need money right now. You got the major holiday, one major holiday that just passed. We got Christmas coming up, so we'll be taking loads heading that way, and we want to get guys prepared for what to do with some of these trucks. And another thing, covering your loads. Definitely, you don't want snow getting on a load that was supposed to be tarp just because it doesn't rain in transition. Sometimes, it condensates. And it developed rust all over that load, and then you couldn't imagine. Over the years, I've seen fresh cut steel at 12 o'clock, and then the next morning before 7 o'clock, it looked like that steel had been made 10 years ago. Yep. And it's all about doing exactly what the shipper asks us to do on some of these loads. So some of you guys experience where you'll see a load that need to be poly and tarped. That's by design. That's to make absolute sure that we're protecting that load, because sometimes just covering it with the tarp does nothing for you. It kind of creates moisture on hot material, and it'll condensate. So sometimes they'll ask us to cover that with poly. So, we definitely, need to make sure we're doing that. James, you got anything else you want to talk to us about that, guys may need to look out for entering these winter months?
One of the things you talked about was that stuff that falls from the sky that's kind of ugly,
Yes.
called snow. And even if it's not snowing where you've been driving, there's snow on the ground, or has been the remnants of snow or salt or some of the road chemicals and stuff like that. A couple of things that happens, you see how dirty and nasty the trucks get when you drive through those areas.
Yep.
It's something that you got to be conscious of. So when you're doing your pre-trip each morning, you're getting out walking around, take a rag or your glove or something and just wipe off your lights and make sure your lights are visible to everybody out there. Because if a cop can't see your lights, guess what? He's going to pull you over.
Yep.
And they will get dirty, and they'll kick up on the back of the trailer, and it gets dirty as well. So, just take a few seconds as you walk around, make sure the lights work, and make sure they're clean. The only other thing I'd like to say is, hey, if conditions are bad, if your mirrors are icing up and stuff like that, you need to be finding a place to park the truck.
Yep. Safety is always first here, guys. And James, I'm glad you started talking about safety, because I was actually about to leave into that topic. You mentioned wiping your lights off. Guys, add that a part of your pre-trip. Yep. James just gave guys some valuable information for free. That didn't cost you anything. And guess what? Boyd paid $300 for a clean inspection. Yep. So, if you're doing some of the things that we're asking you guys to do, then you can make yourself some extra money. Now, what James said is just add that to your pre-trip. And the biggest thing, DVIRs. I know a lot of you guys have heard from your fleet managers about DVIRs. We need guys taking that serious now. We got a lot of guys that's just kind of sending them in each morning. We got some guys that actually fix the situation and they don't send a DVIR in. Well, we want to change that up a little bit. Make sure if you fix it, still send it in. You'll just get a call.
That you fixed it.
There you go. And note that you fixed it. Driver support will follow up with a little call just to make absolute sure, that was taken care of, and you just tell them, yeah. But, guys, the DVIR is to take care of you. It's just to make sure that you stay on the road rolling and that we can get to that issue and get it fixed ASAP. So, guys, make sure we're doing a proper DVIR each and every day, guys, because that's the most important thing, that we catch some of this stuff ahead of time. Anything else you want to talk about that I missed today?
Just remember, your individual actions can also have effects on other people. So, doing your pre-trips, taking care of your truck, taking care of your trailer, telling us if you're dropping a trailer, it's got an issue so we can get it fixed for the next guy. Those are the kind of things that we can help each other out. And it is the holiday season, so
there you go.
We're going to make it merry and bright as best we can. And I just want to tell you a little funny story. You said it was 24 the other day. My wife turned her DVIR into me the other night, too, because her tire pressure light came on, right?
Yeah.
So guess we got to fill up the tires the other day.
There you go.
Same thing happens in a big truck, right? Except you don't necessarily get a light from your wife. But, if you're down here in the South when it's 60, 70 degrees, whatever, you're at 100 pounds on a tire, you go up north and it's 20, 30 degrees, you've lost 10, 12 pounds of pressure in that tire. So just keep an eye on them. Always measure them cold, run them through somewhere, let them look at them. If you don't have a gauge, which you should have one. If you don't, let us know. We'll help you out there. But, take care of the stuff. It takes care of you. And once again, I just want to reiterate, if you're ever in conditions where you're not feeling safe and it's not, and like icing is something you cannot drive in. I don't care how good you think you are, you can't drive on ice.
Yep.
Stop.
Awesome.
Call in, let the fleet manager know, driver support know.
There you go. There you go, and we'll get you taken care of. And there's just one more quick little safety update, guys. As you know, we're approaching the holidays. A lot more traffic out there on the roads. A lot of kids will be getting out of school here, college and high school, so they'll be on the road as well. So just make sure you pay extra attention while you're out here on the road, because there could be a family in that car. And it could be your family in that car. So, let's take care of everybody. Let's keep moving America. And to anybody that's looking at this episode, to the ones that want to see it, follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and any other social media platform. We like to try to, try to show this episode on each and every one. And to any driver out here that's looking for a truck driving career versus a truck driving job, go Boyd.